Hello. We're Pianis. From October 2nd to October 23rd, the 19th Chopin International Piano Competition will open its doors in Warsaw. The very first edition took place back in 1927. It was planned to be held every 5 years, but there were interruptions during wartime. In 1932, the winner was decided by a coin toss. And in 1980, Martha Argerich resigned from the jury in protest after Ivo Pogorelich was eliminated. The Chopin competition has never failed to bring not only unforgettable performances, but also plenty of drama. Today we'll review past winners and prize winners, while looking back at some of those dramatic moments. Be sure to stay with us until the end. On this channel, we share news about famous international piano competitions and support Japanese pianists. If that sounds interesting, please consider subscribing. Chopin, who spent his career in Paris, never got the chance to return to his homeland Poland. He passed away at the age of 39 after a short life. After World War I, Poland finally regained independence. To inspire patriotism among the Polish people, the Chopin International Piano Competition was created. The first edition was in 1927. The winner was Lev Oborin from the Soviet Union. He is also famous as the teacher of Vladimir Ashkenazy. Dmitri Shostakovich was also a remarkable pianist. He participated in that very first edition and advanced to the finals. As for the jury, with the exception of one German, all were Polish. After the great success of the first edition, more than 200 pianists from around the world applied for the second competition. The first prize went to Alexander Uninsky from the Soviet Union. But actually, there were two pianists tied for first place. The other was Imre Unger from Hungary, who was completely blind. Unbelievable as it seems today, the jury flipped a coin to decide the champion. The coin toss made Uninsky the winner. Later, Uninsky moved to America and became a highly respected teacher, training many pianists. He also left behind many recordings of his own playing. For this edition, the jury included not only Polish judges but also musicians from neighboring European countries. Among the names were Maurice Ravel and Karol Szymanowski. The first prize went to Yakov Zak from the Soviet Union. From the very first edition through the third, the top prize had always gone to Soviet pianists. After winning, Zak went on to teach at his alma mater, the Moscow Conservatory, eventually becoming head of the piano department. Meanwhile, Jan Akir from Poland, known today for the Akir edition of Chopin's works, placed 8th. The Akir edition is a scholarly urtext, compiled by carefully examining everything from Chopin's autograph manuscripts to his students' notes. It was a national project in Poland, led by Akir himself. At the Chopin competition, the Akir edition is the officially recommended score. This third edition also marked the very first challenge by a Japanese pianist. Chiko Hara competed and won the audience prize. Wearing a brilliant Fariso de kimono, she gave a stunning performance. On the jury was the great German pianist Wilhelm Backhaus. It was originally scheduled for 1942, but because of World War II and the devastation that followed, Poland was unable to hold the competition for many years. Finally, 12 years later, on the 100th anniversary of Chopin's death, it returned. There were two first prize winners. Bela Davidovich from the Soviet Union and Helena Czerny-Stefanska from Poland. Both were women pianists. Up until then, every first prize had gone to the Soviet Union. Sujii Stefanska's victory, as the first Polish champion, set off a wave of excitement across the entire country. She went on to perform worldwide as a great Chopin interpreter. Davidovich married the famous Russian violinist Julian Sitkovetsky and later emigrated to the United States, continuing her career there. From this point on, the competition jury began to include many former prize winners themselves. This edition coincided with the rebuilding of the Warsaw Philharmonic Hall, which had been destroyed during World War II. That's why it was held 6 years after the previous one. First prize went to Adam Harasiewicz from Poland. Second prize went to Vladimir Ashkenazy from the Soviet Union. But then came a scandal involving jury member Arturo Benedetti Michelangeli. Michelangeli strongly disagreed with Ashkenazy not winning first prize. He refused to sign the results and went straight back home. Japanese pianist Kyoko Tanaka finished in 10th place, becoming the first Japanese prize winner. But Michelangeli was also outraged, saying she deserved to rank much higher. This edition's jury also included Polish composer Witold Lutosławski. This year marked the 150th anniversary of Chopin's birth. From this edition on, prizes were awarded only up to 6th place. The gold medal went to Maurizio Pollini from Italy. His performance was so extraordinary that it shocked the jury. Honorary jury chairman Arthur Rubinstein famously said, "Is there anyone among us judges who can play as well as Pollini?" On the jury was also Russian composer Dmitry Kabalevsky, serving as vice chairman. From Japan, Hitoshi Kobayashi, who is now president of the Japan Chopin Society, was among the prize winners. First prize went to Martha Argerich from Argentina. This marked the arrival of one of the greatest pianists of our time. Even before this, she had already won multiple international competitions. But at the Chopin, she was overwhelming and took first place without question. In recent years, she's been dedicating herself to chamber music, as well as organizing her own festivals and competitions to support young talents. From Japan, Hiroko Nakamura won 4th prize. Later, she would serve as a jury member more than any other Japanese pianist, from the 13th to the 16th editions. The jury also included the renowned French pianist Vlado Perlet-Mutter. First prize went to Garrick Olson from the United States. Second prize went to Mitsuko Uchida from Japan. Third prize went to Peter Pollechny from Poland. Pollechny would later become the teacher of Kyohei Sorita, second prize winner of the previous edition, and of Tomoharu Ushida, who's attracting great attention in the upcoming competition this October. From Japan, Kuko Endo placed 8th. This was also the first time a Japanese served on the jury, with Susumu Nagai taking that role. First prize went to Christian Zimerman from Poland. It was the first Polish victory since Harasiewicz, 20 years earlier. At just 18 years old, Zimerman became the youngest champion in the competition's history at that time. His popularity has never faded, and to this day he continues to perform recitals around the world, standing as one of the most iconic pianists of our era. He's also known as a great admirer of Japan and is said to even have a home in Tokyo. The jury included Spanish composer Federico Mompo and Japanese pianist Aiko Iguchi. First prize went to Dang Thai Son from Vietnam. He was the very first Asian pianist ever to win the competition, making headlines worldwide. From Japan, Akiko Ebi shared 5th prize with Eva Poblaka. Then came the famous Pogorelich incident. The Croatian pianist Ivo Pogorelich was known for his unconventional interpretations, sometimes even hammering passages where the composer had marked pianissimo. He had already won prizes at several other international competitions, but his bold style caused controversy in Warsaw as well. When Pogorelich passed the first round, jury member Louis Kentner resigned in protest. Later, when he failed to make the finals, Martha Argerich also resigned, declaring he's a genius. This scandal gave Pogorelich enormous popularity. He received both the Audience Prize and the Critics' Prize. From Japan, Kazuko Yasukawa served on the jury. First prize went to Stanislav Bunin from Russia. NHK produced and aired special programs on the Chopin competition, and Bunin's popularity in Japan exploded. From Japan, Michi A. Koyama won fourth prize. And on the jury was Japanese pianist Takahiro Sonoda. In this edition, there was no first prize awarded. Second prize went to Kevin Kenner from the United States. In the first round, his sound and phrasing were so outstanding that many believed he was destined to be the winner. But as the rounds went on, the second, the third, and then the finals, his performances lost momentum. In the end, the gold medal slipped away. Kenner had always been physically fragile, and during the competition he grew so weak he could hardly eat. That may have been the reason. This edition was also historic for Japan. Yukio Yokoyama won third prize. Takako Takahashi took fifth prize. And several other Japanese pianists reached the finals. On the jury from Japan were Kazuko Yasukawa and Hiroko Nakamura. Years later, in May 2010, Yokoyama set a Guinness World Record by performing all 166 of Chopin's solo piano works from memory in about 16 hours. Just like the previous edition, there was no first prize awarded. Second prize was shared by Philippe Giussiano from France and Alexei Sultanov from Russia. Sultanov had already made headlines at age 19 as the youngest ever winner of the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition. But at the Chopin, he was furious not to be awarded first prize. In protest, he boycotted the award ceremony and returned home. Even so, he went on to perform around the world and was deeply loved by audiences. Tragically, in 2001, after a fall that caused a subdural hematoma, he suffered paralysis on his left side. Though he continued to perform with only his right hand, he passed away at the young age of 35. From Japan, Rika Miyatani placed fifth. And the Japanese jurors were Hitoshi Kobayashi and Hiroko Nakamura. First prize went to Yundi Li from China. At just 18 years old, he broke Zimerman's record to become the youngest ever winner. Because the two previous editions had produced no first prize, his victory was the first in 15 years. With his strikingly handsome looks, Yundi quickly became a sensation in Japan as well. From Japan, Mika Sato placed sixth. This was also the edition where Martha Argerich, who had resigned from the jury during the Pogorelich incident 20 years earlier, returned as a juror. Other Japanese jurors included Akuko Endo and Hiroko Nakamura. First prize went to Rafał Blechacz from Poland. There was no second prize. Third prize was shared by Dong Hyuk Lim and Dong Min Lim, both from Korea, in fact, brothers. Fourth prize was also shared, between Takashi Yamamoto and Shohei Sekimoto from Japan. There was no fifth prize. And 6th prize went to Li Yundi County Lin from China. So except for the gold medalist, every prize from 3rd to 6th was awarded to Asian pianists. From Japan, Hiroko Nakamura served on the jury. For Poland, this was the first home country victory in 30 years since Zimerman. The nation was ecstatic. Blechacz was chosen unanimously by the jury. On top of 1st prize, he swept every special award, the Polonaise Prize, the Mazurka Prize, the Sonata Prize, and the Concerto Prize. Just 2 years earlier, in 2003, he had placed 2nd at the Hamamazu International Piano Competition, where no 1st prize was awarded. With that prize money, he was able to buy his very first grand piano. This was also the edition where Nobuyuki Sujii, at just 17 years old, made his debut. At that time, the age limit was 17 to 28. Sujii's performance was so brilliant that the audience called him back to the stage 4 times. But he did not advance past the 2nd round. Still, the global audience watching online protested the decision, and in an unprecedented move, Sujii was later awarded the Polish Critics' Prize. He would go on to win the Van Cliburn International Piano Competition at the age of 20. First prize went to Yuliana Avdieva from Russia. It was the 200th anniversary of Chopin's birth, and Avdieva became the first female winner in 45 years since Argerich. Her playing, deeply thoughtful and true to the score, impressed even Argerich herself, who praised her artistry. Incidentally, this was the very first time a contestant won using a Japanese Yamaha piano. Unfortunately, no Japanese contestant made it beyond the 2nd round. But from Japan, Michi A. Koyama served on the jury. This edition saw long debates among the jurors, as their opinions were deeply divided. In the end, 1st prize went to Song Jin Cho from Korea. 2nd prize to Charles Richard Hamelin from Canada. And 3rd prize to Kate Liu from the United States. Back in 2009, at just 15 years old, Cho had already won the Hamamazu International Piano Competition as the youngest champion ever. His playing in Warsaw was precise and superb. Yet the great pianist Philippe Entremont gave him the lowest possible score, which complicated the jury's decision. For a moment, there was even talk of leaving 1st prize vacant. But finally, Cho was declared the winner. At the same time, many people championed the artistry and intellect of 3rd prize winner Kate Liu. From Japan, Aimi Kobayashi reached the finals. On the jury was Akiko Ebi. This edition was delayed by a year due to the COVID-19 pandemic. 1st prize went to Bruce Liu from Canada. 2nd prize was shared by Kyohei Sorita from Japan and Alexander Gagiev from Italy and Slovenia. 3rd prize went to Martin Garcia from Spain. And 4th prize was shared by Aimi Kobayashi from Japan and Jakub Kuszlik from Poland. By the way, Bruce Liu had already placed 4th at the Sendai International Music Competition in 2016. And Alexander Gagiev had won the Hamamazu International Piano Competition in 2015. Despite the pandemic and postponement, the online response was record-breaking. During the competition itself, YouTube views reached 37.5 million, with a total of 8 million hours watched. That was more than 4 times higher than the previous edition, making it the most popular online event in the competition's history. It truly became known as a festival of diversity. Afterward, Sorita and Aimi Kobayashi's marriage also became a hot topic. The history of the Chopin competition reflects not only the beauty of music, but also the times, the society, and the human drama behind it. These legends continue to be passed down, enriching the story with each generation. Now, with the 19th edition about to begin, we'll witness the next glorious chapter unfold in real time. Who will be the next pianist to make history in Warsaw? The opening is just around the corner. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like. If you'd like to see more, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. We wish you a rich and fulfilling piano life.